You're listening to the Things Podcast, brought to you by the Things Industries.
Paul Bradley, Kigen, welcome.
Oh, thank you. This is very nice to be here. Thank you, Robert, for having me.
Yeah, no worries. So we used to have a time when a SIM card was simply a subscriber identity module, which was given by the operator and you had to slide it into your phone.
Yeah.
But now the world, we're 20 years later and we have got the eSIMs.
Absolutely.
So allow me to summarize what an eSIM is quickly, and then we deep dive into your story.
Absolutely, yeah. So an eSIM gives you the possibility and the freedom to use a single piece of hardware to put different connectivity profiles. So I guess the most common eSIMs that we're seeing right now in the consumer world is travel eSIMs.
Yeah.
So if, for example, you're traveling outside of the European Union especially, you might see that it's very easy to go within the European Union because all the data plans are all matched up. Everything is very easy to go from A to B. Once you're outside, then you can suddenly get a bill shock when you get back from your operator if you're using roaming.
Yeah, allow me to summarize. So normally you used to have the plastic and this contained a SIM.
Yes.
And now you have got the plastic or you have a chip, solid SIM, MFF2.
Absolutely.
For example, and you can load the profile on it, which is a virtual SIM card. You can load it as a consumer in it. And when you go to the US or to Asia, you load it on your phone and then you use that profile.
Absolutely.
And on that physical SIM, either a chip, which is MFF2, for example, or 2FF, which is traditional SIM format, you can load different profiles and you can activate different profiles.
Absolutely, and you can toggle between them.
Yeah.
And you can have, for example, one which is used for your incoming voice calls, so you're still connected to home, but the data could be on the eSIM profile that you're using to roam, so that you're not going to find a bill shock when you get home because of data roaming. You go to some countries and you use a megabyte of data and it's billed to an astronomical rate, and then suddenly you do a download, your phone is doing things in the background, and next minute, you got a huge bill.
Yeah, so my son, for example, he's in Taiwan, and I asked him, uses eSIM, so he loaded it and he's using that profile. So that's how it works. And can you explain a little bit, what is now the use case for IoT? Because eSIMs are there for the consumer, but what is it specific for IoT here?
Okay, so IoT eSIM technology is extremely important. Firstly, the ability to be able to change connectivity provider is a regulatory requirement for a lot of industries. So like if you look at smart utilities, for example, they need to go to public tender for connectivity.
I heard about it.
Yeah. So they absolutely need to have the capability to change mobile operator over the air. And so eSIM enables that. And now with the latest generation of SGP32 standard, so the latest and greatest GSMA eSIM standard for IoT, which was kind of fully ratified at the beginning of this year, they can now do that. Like they have a remote control over their fleet of EUICCs, so eSIMs that are sitting inside devices. So they have a remote control over those, and they can toggle them from operator A to operator B, or they can overcome things like regulatory requirements. You have some markets where you can't stay connected on a foreign subscription beyond a certain period of time in some markets. And so you absolutely need to have eSIM technology to be able to localize the device to that country. So for example, Turkey or Brazil or various other countries, they don't let you stay on a foreign subscription longer than a certain number of days. Usually it's 30 days. And so therefore you absolutely have to change change operator to a local profile within that time.
Yeah, I was on a project. I'm a consultant. I was on a project about cars. I can't mention which brands, but they ship the cars, and in the end, they knew this car is going to that country. That's and then they selected which profile to load it.
Absolutely, and that was very easy with a removable SIM, because what they used to do is they used to pull out the SIM. This is they would SIM or put eSIM. Oh, it was eSIM. Yeah. So with eSIM they could do it remotely, but now we see a trend also in those kind of car manufacturers. What they would do is when they know that batch of cars or that particular car was being shipped to one of those countries, on the production line, they would load the eSIM profile for that country so that it works out of the box. Or it works, you get onto the road, you have connectivity, as soon as you start the engine.
Yeah, it's still, correct me if I'm wrong, you still need a platform to manage the SIM, a realization platform. And often these SIMs come when they boot up, they've got this boot profile and they load to the RSP platform and then load then the actual SIM.
Exactly. That's the way it used to work. So now the change there is that you don't need the bootstrap profile, which is the initial one.
Okay.
Some of the car manufacturers now are directly loading the profile for the right country in their point of, let's say, the customization of the car. Yeah. So once they know which car has been identified for which customer in which country, they can at that point in time directly load the profile that's needed, so that you don't have that hassle of going through a bootstrap subscription to get to your final one, because that's just an extra something that they have to pay for, where once they've identified where they know the car is going, that they don't have that additional cost of having to use a bootstrap. And a bootstrap is also a hassle sometimes for the bootstrap operator, because they are essentially getting 30, 50 kilobytes of data just to enable another operator to serve the car's lifetime needs, for example.
And what is your proposition? Where are you in? You're in the remote supervision platforms, but you're also in the SIP. Can you tell me a little bit where you're aiming at now?
Yeah, exactly. So Kigen, we actually do 4 different things. First thing is we do the actual physical EUICC. So we the visualizer of. Yeah, so we actually deliver EUICCs which have a profile loaded or which can be blank and ready to personalize in the field from an OEM. So that's the first thing we do, the actual physical component. We also have the integrated SIM, which is part of that same, using our skill set and using our software in order to be able to service the future needs. So you have some cellular modules which have the SIM capability, which is there, integrated, and we can then load our software, or the operating system of the SIM, into those modules. So that's the integrated SIM. So that's the first overall thing we do is our, let's say, SIM operating system, or eSIM operating system. The second thing we do is the remote SIM provisioning services.
Okay, yeah.
So we have this new EIM, so the eSIM for IoT Remote Manager. So this is the famous remote control over your fleet of devices that are in the field, able to manage the life cycle of the connectivity inside the devices. So that's the second thing we do. So we also service some of the operators' needs there, where we have the what's called the SMTP Plus server. This is what's used it's like a library of profiles that the operator hosts ready to fetch into the IoT dual or the DI part. Yeah. Exactly. The third thing we do is in-factory connectivity enablement. So this is where the car manufacturer, in the analogy earlier, is loading a profile dynamically on a production line, but we're doing that mainly in smart utilities. And then last but not least, we have what's called IoT Safe. And IoT Safe is used to protect the provenance of data. So that's really a big topic coming into AI, because more and more, as things go on with AI, you have AI-generated decisions, right? AI-made decisions, which are used then to further make decisions. And so unless you can manage to ultimately use reliable source data in the decision-making, then obviously, AI is just guesswork. So you obviously need to have that. And what we can do is, using IoT Safe, you're using the SIM as a tamper-resistant element to sign the data to ensure that it's authentic, in order to make sure that the data comes from the source that you believe it to be from, and therefore that it's a valid source to make a decision based off. So it's a very important.
So it's moving from subscriber identity to secure integrated module.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm not to talk about that. It's a lot very interesting. If people are interested and do want to know more about it, how can they reach out to you?
They can already get in touch with us on Kigen.com. And likewise, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn, no problem. So we have, like I said, so I'm the VP of Sales for Europe, and again, no problem. We can service the needs. We also offer free trials of the SGB32 solution.
Yeah, this
we can very easily ship samples of the SGB32 SIMs in whatever form factors are required, be it plastic form factor with 2FF, 3FF, 4FF, MFF2, MFF4, which is the new 2x2 form factor. So again, very easy to ship samples, very easy to set up the trial on the platform to be able to remotely manage those samples, to test the download of different operators' profiles, to be able to toggle between them. All of that, very easy to get.
So suppose I've got my own dev kit, module dev kit.
Yeah.
I can use your test stuff, and then you have some kind of a test profile, and then I can
Absolutely, it's very easy to get up and running. We've also pre-validated a certain number of modules. We've set up a program called Secure with Kigen, whereby we've kind of upfront interoperability tested the cellular modules with the eSIM technology from Kigen to ensure in advance that things will actually work together seamlessly. Because it's always painful.
although it's standardized, you still have the interoperability.
Absolutely, you can have some of the older modules which might not support the necessary toolkit commands well enough or whatever. And again, we work with the cellular module providers to make sure that we raise it to them and that if there are any issues detected, that those issues are ironed out. So again, we've got great relationships with the different partners we work with. We have an ecosystem team that look after that, and we feed back regularly to the cellular module vendors because again, this stuff should be working out of the box. It's a standard, and we want to make sure that the ecosystem, that everything runs smoothly.
And these devices, they are running for a longer period of time. Do you also support this? For example, the RSP which comes with it. Do you also support it during the lifetime of the products?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. So the EIM is something which is supported. Like we host that EIM on behalf of those who wish to use it, the OEMs or the connectivity providers who wish to use the EIM. It's hosted in our GSMA accredited facility in Dublin.
Okay.
We can also host it on different clouds if folks want to run any instance on whatever cloud that they prefer. And again, we support and maintain that. We've also been told by many of the partners that it's very, very easy to integrate with, which is something which isn't always the case because, again, your platform or your service is only as good as the APIs that you support. And we tend to have a very simple set to be able to download profiles, to be able to toggle between them, and also to manage any other aspects of the USCC through that platform itself.
Well, we are amazed. We are interested. We know how it goes now. We are going to have a look.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And good luck with all the iSIMs.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks. For the best.